Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day, and if not, I hope I can make it a little better. So last time, we made this travel watercolour palette. But I was thinking to myself, what if you don't have a tin or half pans just lying around? So I thought, how about this time we have a go at making a travel watercolour or gouache palette using items that you can find around the house. Let's do it. For this craft, I'll be using a Pop-it. This is just a keyring one I got from a penny arcade. A container with a sealable lid, which the Pop-it fits in. This is just a beauty tub. It had a clay face mask in. Some plastic. This is the lid of a hot chocolate container. Sponge, just a dish sponge. Kitchen towel. Some leftover watercolour paper. This time, I'll be using... This time, I'll be making a gouache palette, as I already have a watercolour palette now. Let's get started. So this is my Pop-it. I think I'm supposed to do something aesthetically pleasing with it. There you go. I'm not very well versed with Pop-its apparently. I will say, if you are going to use a Pop-it for your palette, they do come in different colours. This one just popped out of the, it was a penny pusher machine where you put in the pennies and they go along the shelf, and this is the one that popped out. But if you're going to buy one, I'd suggest buying a lighter one rather than this bright one. So, I have my Pop-it and I have my pot. I have tried to clean it up, but it had clay in it, so there's still remnants of clay. As you can see, it fits quite perfectly, apart from this keychain bit. So I'm going to cut the keychain off. But I would quite like to save it, because this seems like quite useful. If I could somehow attach the keychain to the pot afterwards, it'd make it extra portable. So let's trim the keychain bit off. And so now, Pop-it fits in there very nicely. If you're concerned about your Pop-it moving around, you could put a little bit of glue or sticky tack on the bottom, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. So now, we can fill up the Pop-it with our paints. Here's my chosen palette. I'm now going to do the aesthetically pleasing bit and fill the Pop-it. So there are the gouache, all in the little Pop-it pockets. You can have a go at tapping them to even them out a little bit. But now you just have to wait for them to dry, like you would the watercolours. If you've ever been curious, the difference between gouache and watercolour is that gouache can dry opaque depending on how thick you put them on, and they can be reactivated like watercolours, but you can layer them like acrylic. You can also get acrylic gouache, which is like gouache, but they can't be reactivated with water. But you can water them down like watercolours. So basically, watercolours you can water down and are reactivated with water every time. Gouache you can use as opaque or as thin as you want, but can be reactivated. Acrylic gouache you can use as thin or as thick as you like, but once you put them down, can't be reactivated by water. And acrylic, once you put it down, that's it. No water reactivation. And you shouldn't water it down really either. So I'm going to put this aside to dry. And I'm going to work on the palette part. I'm going to put the palette in the lid. But as you can see, it's dark. So if you tried mixing paint on it, it wouldn't show up too well. Which is where this comes in. You might have a yogurt pot lid or a hot chocolate lid or a coffee lid that already is white, but this one comes with a seal that I can use. So I'm going to try and peel the seal out, cut it down to size and stick it in here. As you can see, it's shiny, so it's a little waterproof, so I'll be able to mix the paint on it without it peeling. It's been a couple of hours now, and you can see that if I touch the paint, it doesn't come off my finger. So we're doing good. In theory, we can call the palette done now. Just shut the lid on it, take it off to where we want to go, undo it, use this bit to mix the paint on, store the paint here. But we can do extras. So let's get started on it. The first thing I want to do is attach this keychain that came with the Pop-it. Now be very careful when you use hot glue, because literally it is melted plastic. Very, very hot melted plastic. Okay, so I have absolutely covered that in hot glue, as well as myself. So I'm going to put that to the side to dry, and I'm going to do the next optional extra, which is making a swatch card. I'm just going to draw around the bottom of the pot to get the right size of my swatch card first of all. There we go. Now I can cut the circle out. There we go. So there's my circle. That should fit in here. Perfect. So now I'm going to do what I did with the watercolour palette, which is make a swatch of all the colours in the order that they appear in the trays. set is something to clean your brush on. You can either use a small piece of sponge. If you think that's going to use up too much space, you can use a bit of kitchen towel. So I'm just going to cut this bit in half, I think, because it's only small. So I fold it. Cut it in half-ish. And fold it up a few times. There you go, that'll fit in there as well. So, everything's dry-ish. Shall we assemble? So we put in something to clean our brush on. We put in our swatch. And then we twist on our lid. There you have it. One portable watercolour palette. So portable, you can hang it on a keychain. I am very excited to use this. Let's go on an adventure, guys. So here we have it, one watercolour painting painted with my portable watercolour kit. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. I'd love to know what you enjoyed most. Would you have a go at making your own paint palette using a Pop-it? I'd love to see if you do. If you could like this video, comment, subscribe, share, turn on all notifications, that would be amazing. You can follow me at Enchanted Violin on Instagram, TikTok, all those places. You'll find links in the description box below. You can also read my online comic companions at Tapas and Webtoon. Links are also in the description box below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!